we were talking the other day with one of your colleagues, Congressman Cloud, about a bill that he and J.D. Vance in the Senate, which would get rid of DEI in all of the government bureaucracy, and no private company can do work with the federal government if they have DEI programs, et cetera. So you came across this document, the Air Force, of microaggressions, lists of microaggressions. This is stuff that I remember 10 years ago, this would come out of some ridiculous college somewhere in Massachusetts, and we would laugh at it. Be like, oh, you can't say, manhole cover anymore. You have to say sewer cover or whatever, like some dumb political correct thing. It's not policeman, it's police person. And now this is in the Air Force, it's in our military. We've talked about this a lot, but here's an example. You're not allowed to tell someone to toughen up. Gender assumptions about emotional displays and resilience exist on all ends of the gender spectrum. They contribute to potentially harmful standards of masculinity in individual mental and physical identities. When you say that, it implies that someone isn't good enough as they are. I don't think it implies that. I actually think it says that. I think it says you need to be tougher than you are. There's no implication there. What do you make of this wokeness and microaggression nonsense in the military?
Well, I'm grateful to Congressman Cloud and Senator Vance for their work on this. I've been trying to get DEI out of the military, and it's like playing whack-a-mole. Every time you think you've zapped the last drag show, another microaggression memo just up. And here, even saying that someone is savage or tough, those things are being deemed outside the bounds of appropriate dialogue in the United States military. Do you think the Chinese are sitting around saying, don't tell anyone to toughen up, don't tell anyone to be man tough or to be savage? I want a military of tough, strong people, and I don't particularly care if they're men or they're women. I just want them to be kind of one or the other, actually. And the people in the Air Force just loathe this stuff. My friends and colleagues around Northwest Florida, I got the largest military or Air Force base geographically in the world in my district, and these folks are patriots. It's the senior leadership trying to social climb with these virtue signals that is robbing us of the military we deserve. When they write these memos, what they're essentially saying is, if you're a young officer, the way you're going to move up is to embrace this wokeism. And if you want to get that next to a star, if you want to put on that full bird colonel, this is kind of the social religion that you have to accept. And the way to break that is to really get in there in the senior officer corps and in the Secretary of the Air Force, Secretary of the Army and Navy, and for President Trump to get people in those positions who will actually uphold the great vaulted values of the military. This isn't a hard sell. The military is the most revered institution in American life, and yet we have leaned into this concept that the warfighter has to be a social justice warrior rather than a great bomb technician or aviator or electronic warfare specialist. I want a military built on capabilities, not on these virtue signals.
Yeah, that's savage. If you say that erases the history of violence done to indigenous peoples.
Oh my gosh.
Pile.